Shabbat Shalom again. We ask, this Passover, what will you remember? Maybe you will remember the challenges that come with another Chag in lockdown. Or perhaps you will choose to remember the continuity of our people's resilience. Our community is strong, and this is thanks to you. You have checked in on your neighbors. You have hosted Zoom Shiva minions. You have hosted Zoom parties for birthdays, baby showers, engagements, and weddings. You have helped deliver meals to vulnerable peoples. And you taught those unfamiliar with technology how to engage with our community at this time. You inspired younger generations to connect with Jewish community, albeit virtually. And you continue to help your brothers and sisters in need around the world. This Pesach, and indeed this year, you rose up to do good. And since the second day of Passover, we have been counting the Omer, the period of 49 days symbolizing our journey from Zman Hirotenu, the time of our liberation, to Shavuot, the celebration of the giving of the Torah. It is a time during which it is customary to study the Pirkei Avot, the wisdom and ethics of our ancestors, the ethical teachings that guide the improvement of our character and inspire us to bring justice into our world. As Hillel notably states in Pirkei Avot, if I am not for myself, who is for me? But if I am for my own self only, what am I? And if not now, when? These are times that measure our resilience and demand our compassion. We are being challenged to live out our ethical values more than ever, in protecting our lives and ensuring the well-being of others. This pandemic has demonstrated that the fate of all mankind is linked, that we are all truly responsible for each other. I know this is a message that we have heard over and over and over again these past year, but on Erev Yom Tov, it is worth repeating and internalizing. The year of social isolation has sparked in many of us closer emotional connections to our families, our friends, our colleagues, our neighbors, and our communities. That is not to say that this has been an easy road, but rather we recognize now just how important the people in our lives truly are. I must say that experiencing unity amidst adversity is an unexpected and welcomed blessing. As we reflect on what we choose to remember of this Passover, let us not dwell on silver linings alone. For many of us, this quarantine has made us busier and more stressed than we could have ever imagined. Our lives, our children's lives, our parents' and our grandparents' lives have been dominated by this pandemic. We have lost loved ones, lost jobs, or may have survived COVID itself but are still living with symptoms. Pesach shopping is hard to do online. I imagine that I am not the only person whose Seder Shankbone was left out of their curbside order. But we also experienced our community come together in ways that we have never quite seen before. Just to talk, to counsel, share resources, experiences, and knowledge, and to find new ways to help the most vulnerable among us. I am so proud of the resilience of the Jewish people. Regardless of individual situations, and with a glimmer of hope at the end of this journey, we must remain as vigilant as ever. Now is not the time for complacency. As we celebrate our freedom during the festival of Pesach, let us not forget the stark truths of our own day. This week, Toronto's ICUs were as full as they have ever been throughout the entire last year. Those requiring hospitalization are significantly younger than they were even 3 or 4 months ago. We are entering another lockdown, and unfortunately, it is absolutely necessary. This is not said to frighten you, but to remind us that our role in this is not yet over. We should all strive to act in a way today that allows each and every one of us in the future to reflect back on this trying period of physical seclusion and say with enormous pride that I am proud of what I did back then. We are each doing our part to keep ourselves and our families healthy. And in our Pesach Seder, we read the words, "On that day you shall instruct your son, it is because of what the Lord did for me when I came out of Egypt." And as we celebrate the miracles of Pesach, let us also lift up and reflect on the heroic actions and efforts we ourselves have undertaken to slowly but surely reach a new sense of deliverance from the troubling days we have endured. Do you remember when the word plague sounded so biblical, so obsolete? Not anymore. Those 10 plagues pushed Pharaoh to let our people go, to let the enslaved Israelites free. We seem so distant from the Israelites' escape from Egypt. But freedom still has a powerful ring, doesn't it? Freedom for us is the ability to be fully a Jewish people, yet still a part of the Canadian society. We must continue to demand full freedom and equality for ourselves, and also to demand it for others. Freedom is an immense gift, but it is also an intimate one. Soon, and I know not soon enough, we will feel this freedom through the simple things: to hug, to touch, to shake hands, to gather in person with our friends and our neighbors. This is a freedom that was too basic to even name before now. And when it comes, it will be sweet. But please, my friends, your patience and adherence to public health protocols is crucial to our collective redemption. And so each day, we count the Omer. Let us consider the blessings in our own lives and how we can strive to be a blessing to others. On this Shabbat, as our festival begins to draw to a close, let us remember and be proud of the way we responded when history called on us to act. Chag Sameach, Shabbat Shalom. We turn now back in our Siddur to page 254 for the counting of the Omer.
Hineni muchanim zuman, hineni